Welcome, everyone. We're really excited to have you join us for our Experience VCC virtual open house event. My name is Mike, and I'll be your moderator today. Before we begin, I'd like to let you know that this session is being recorded. If you are deaf or hard of hearing and you need a sign language interpreter, we do have one available on hand. Just let us know in the chat, and we'll have an interpreter join us in this session. At this time, I'd like to take this opportunity in acknowledging that we are on the traditional and unceded territory of the Coast Salish peoples, the traditional territories of the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh First Nations. This session is an opportunity for you to learn more about our hairstyling and aesthetics programs. On our agenda, we have program representatives who will speak about the program for about 2 to 3 minutes each. We also have an advisor available should you have any general questions that are not specific to the programs. We'll then follow that up with a question and answer period. The real value of the session is a Q&A, and we want to give you as much time as possible to ask the questions that you may have. If you do have questions, please submit them in the Zoom chat. Just be sure to include the program you're interested in the chat question. If we are not able to answer all your questions, or if you have any questions after the session, we have a live advisor Zoom session that runs from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. today and tomorrow. Just go to bcc.ca/experience. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to our program representatives who will take a few minutes to introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about their program. So we'll start with hairstyling. Over to Louise.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Louise Danhauer, and I am the department leader for hair design and skin and body therapy. I have with me Melanie Burke. Melanie is the assistant department head for hairstyling and skin and body therapy. So talking a little bit about one of our 3 programs is hairstyling. The hairstyling certificate program is a 10-month program that we offer multiple times a year. This program, we offer it in 2 different ways. So we offer it in a foundation, and that's where you would come to the college for the full 10 months. It is split into 3 courses. Course 1, you would start your program spending about 8 weeks in the classroom and just starting off learning, quite a bit of theory, a little bit about tools, technology. We would start you off working on mannequin heads for the first 8 weeks, getting your first few cuts in, sectioning, learning how to do wash and blow dry. And that's probably one of the only areas in the program in course 1 where we actually would get you to work on each other so that you can feel what a good wash and blow dry feels like. That course is about 4 months. Now, in order to move from one course to the next course, it's really important that you maintain a 70% grade average in both practical and theoretical. So once you complete course 1, then you'll move into course 2. In course 2, we're going to build on the skills that you've learned in course 1, and we will start to introduce you to taking outside clients. The Salon and Spa has been operating for over 50 years, so we have a really good clientele so that you'll get lots of hands-on practice in our program. In course 2, you'll also start to learn a little bit more about color theory, chemistry involved with color. And this will also be a time where you're going to do your first practicum. So in the hairstyling program, there are 2 practicums. The first one happens in course 2. And this is where we will have you go out into industry and work for 2 weeks in a salon of your choice. And your teacher will come around and visit you and make sure everything is going well. So if you maintain your 70% in course 2, you'll take some practical exams towards the end, and then you're going to move into course 3. Course 3 is only 6 weeks. So this is really a time where we're going to build on some business management skills. We're going to do another final practical. We'll get you ready for your ITA exam. And just basically support you in that last 6 weeks to head off into industry. I think that's good for hairstyling. Okay, Brand new to our department is the nail technology program. So this was kicked off in January 2022 and has been very successful. So if you're interested in a career in nail technology, there are two courses. Someone without any prior aesthetics background would take both courses. The first course is going to be all about natural nails. So this is where you'll learn to do manicures, pedicures, you'll learn your nail disorders, hygiene. And after 4 weeks for the full-time program, as long as you've maintained that 70%, then you'll move on to the nail technology, which is course 2. And in course 2, this is where you're going to learn all of your gels, your acrylics for hands and feet. You'll learn overlay gel products and acrylic products, as well as sculptured. And then we do a whole bunch of nail art as well to get you ready for industry. There's also a small practicum in course 2 where you go out and work in industry as a nail technologist. If you have prior, if you've taken prior courses in aesthetics somewhere, then you can actually skip the first course and just move straight into the second course. And then we have our aesthetics and skin and body therapy program. And so this program is similar in length to the hair program. It is 10 months long, and it also consists of 3 courses. In this program, the first 8 weeks, you're going to be mostly in a classroom before we give you live clients. And it's really important to know that when you're learning new modalities in the aesthetics and skin and body therapy program, you will be working on your fellow classmates. So we don't have any full body mannequins for you to work on. And then after the first course, you'll move into the second course, building on the skills from the first course, and also learning a little bit more in sort of like the medical aesthetics field. We'll introduce you to all sorts of electrical equipment, anti-aging equipment. And in both programs, in all the programs actually, we also introduce you to a lot of outside product companies. So they'll come in and talk to you about their product lines. So you'll have a lot of product knowledge. During all 3 programs, you also will learn how to run a front desk. We have a front desk where you're going to answer phones, take appointments, work with our point of sale software, and learn to retail and book appointments. In the aesthetics and skin and body therapy program, just like the hair program, there are 2 practicums. One will happen in course, or actually both of them will happen in course 2 for the aesthetics program. And let's see, what else can I tell you? There's kits for all 3 programs. And the kits are something that the instructors actually go through almost every year, where we take a look at what's in the kit, and we're always trying to improve it. So when you graduate, you will graduate with a fully functional professional kit that you can take with you to wherever you decide to go and work. And I think anything else I'm missing, Mel?
I think you covered everything really well. I just was going to highlight the piece you mentioned about our salon and spa. So most of your practicing is on live clientele, live clients that we have here at our salon and spa. We have a full open to the public salon and spa that we offer a full range of services. So I think that is something that puts our program ahead of many others, that you get real hands-on client experience through your whole program.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that. And another thing I'd like to highlight for the aesthetics program is, I've worked in some other schools before coming to VCC, and one of the things that I'm very proud of that we have here is we have enough equipment for everybody to use. So when we say we offer microdermabrasion, you have full access to a microdermabrasion machine. And same for our light therapy and yeah, all of our different pieces of equipment. One thing I didn't mention was that the hairstyles program can also be done as an apprenticeship. This is only available to domestic students. But if you are already working in a salon, what you can do is you can actually take our level 1 and level 2 apprenticeship program. You'd need to be sponsored by someone. And while you're in that sponsorship, you would come to VCC for a total of 10 weeks. And in that 10 weeks, we would just front load all of the theory, and then you'd be doing your practical and mentoring in a salon. Once you've completed level 1, then you can spend some time gaining your hours at a salon, and then you can come back and take level 2, which is 5 weeks long. And level 2 is then going to just get you prepared for your Red Seal exam.
Okay, that's really great. Now, before we jump into the Q&A section, I just want to point out that if you are interested in learning more about hair and aesthetics, follow VCC Salon Spa on Facebook and Instagram. Again, it's VCC Salon and Spa. Okay, we'll move to the Q&A. So as I mentioned earlier, this is where you'll get the real value of this session. So if you do have any questions, please just go ahead and type it in the chat. Just be sure to include the program that you're interested in.
Okay, so Julian's just asking a question. Is it hard to get into the hair program, and is it full? So our next intake is May. And one of the things about our programs is that we do them quite often, but they are very popular. So May, we have, I just got all the list of people, and we are full for the upcoming May program. However, there's always wait lists. You never know if something happens to someone and they need to back out last minute. It's always good to get on a wait list. After May, the next intake is going to be in September. So there'll be 2 hair classes in September, then there's 2 in October, and following that, then we'll have 2 in January and 2 in March. It is a popular program, so I hate to say that it's hard to get into, because it really just depends. We never really know who's going to decide that they want to start a career in hairstyling. I think someone raised their hand. Julianne, you have a question?
Yeah, so it's 3 days a week, is that correct? Monday through Wednesday?
Yes, so it's 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
3 days a week, either Monday to Wednesday or Thursday to Saturday.
Okay.
And then what's really important to note is we don't recommend that students do 3 days a week of school and then do 4 days a week of, maybe working a full-time job, because you can imagine there will be some assignments and definitely practice needed in between the classes.
I wonder, Louise, do many of your students actually work part-time while they're attending class?
Yes, actually, in fact, most of our students have been offered jobs. I'd say like maybe upwards of like 95% by their first practicum, they're offered a job in industry. And it's not 100%, only because maybe 5% are not sure that, where their path is going to lead them quite yet. But we also have students who are currently in class and also working in salons on their days off. So yeah, that's always a nice advantage.
Okay, great.
Julianne, did you have a question?
So then you mentioned how there would be like a period of when you would actually work in the salon. How does that work to find a salon to take you on for that period of time?
Yeah, so we usually introduce that a good 2 months to 6 weeks before you have to go on the practicum. We have a huge big binder of people that take our students. So we will share that binder with you, but sometimes people live in an area where there's a salon down the street that they've always wanted to check out. So we'd like to leave it open for you to be able to go out and choose the place that you would like to work in. And we'll help you with that. So we'll help you with, what you should wear when you go in to meet the person. If you should phone or email. If you're emailing, we'll set you up with a cover letter introducing yourself and what you can do. So we'll step you definitely through that process. And we do 2 practicums because sometimes, well, not sometimes, but we encourage our students to try and go to 2 different places. If you think that you're someone who wants to work at a Suki's with lots and lots of other stylists, fast pace, maybe you want to try that. And then next time around, you want to try a neighborhood salon that is a little bit smaller with, 2 or 3 stylists there. And it will give you a chance to kind of see where you fit best.
Okay, thank you.
One thing I have suggested to potential students at the info sessions that we put on is, our prices are very, very good, very competitive, very, very reasonably priced. So sometimes it's good to think about booking, a blow dry or a facial or a manicure, and it gives you a chance to actually interact with the students, see what the classes look like. So you're always welcome to do that.
I wonder if either of you can speak about what are the requirements for students when they enter these programs?
So for a domestic student, you're required to show proof of grade 10 English. Now, sometimes our domestic students, can't show that for various reasons. And so we have, what we would have you do is just have a meeting with either myself or Melanie, a 10-15 minute meeting. We are not EAL assessors. So, but we do find if we just meet with you face to face, ask you a few questions, find out a little bit more about you, normally we can see right away that you will be fine in the program, and then we can waive the English requirement. For an international student, it's a little bit different. I'd have to put that over to VCC International to talk about the requirements there.
Yeah, no, I wonder if you can speak about the requirements for international students.
Hello, I'm Jenna from the International Department. So we do have the hair design and aesthetics programs available for international students. For the English entrance requirements, we are asking for English 10, or if you don't have it because you have studied overseas, then definitely we can accept IELTS academics or even Duolingo. So just send an email to us and we can provide you the entrance requirements and guide you through this process for sure. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Jana.
So Tegan has a question. And the question is regarding, it's a student's first time, the requirements, do they need to have previous knowledge before applying? The answer to that is no, you do not need to have any previous knowledge of any of these programs. We're going to walk you through that from day one. You should have some dexterity though. And so that's just, you should have a little bit of a creative background and also be able to use your hands. That will be very helpful so that you're not struggling in the beginning.
Louise, you spoke about the employment rate of students who graduate. Do students that take the practicum, do they typically get hired by the place of practicum?
Yes, typically they get hired. Yeah, they get hired right away. And if not hired right away, asked to come back once they've graduated. And
maybe a follow-up question to that. With COVID, the rules relaxing and the mask mandates and restrictions, what is the prospects out there now, particularly heading into the summer now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we've relaxed things a lot in our department. We've all come back to work, and that's mainly based on that's what industry is doing as well. As far as the emails that we get daily from salons and spas out there asking for employees, we know that things are busier than ever in this industry. And everyone's just taking those greater precautions of not going to school or going to work if they're feeling ill. And most people are still wearing masks in salons and spas as well. So just taking those extra precautions.
Okay, that's good to know.
For our program currently, because during COVID we went online, we actually developed quite a bit of material, engaging material online. So we have decided to continue with some online portion of your learning. So, we're still working with things, so they might change a little bit, but at the moment you would have 1 day a week online. And that's where we would be doing all of your assignments and all of your theory, all the theory work.
Okay. Would that also include Zoom sessions for online learning? Yep, it would. Okay.
Yeah, it would be synchronous and asynchronous. So there would be a certain amount of time spent face-to-face with your classmates on Zoom. And then there would be a certain amount of time that you would check out and you would go onto our online learning platform. For aesthetics, it's Moodle, and for hair, it's something called Pivot Point Lab. And so in there is where you will go through all of your assignments and any work that's needing to be done.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Julianne?
So just question about the fees and other costs for the course. So I'll be going like traveling from the Sunshine Coast and whatnot. So I wouldn't need like the UPass and all that kind of stuff. Do I still have to pay for that though when I apply for going there? Or does some of those kinds of things get not put in there? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay, so I believe the UPass is like an automatic thing when you apply for the program. So I can't answer that. I can't answer that really well for you because I'm not sure if you can opt out of that. I know you can opt out of the medical and the dental, but I'm not sure if you'd be able to opt out of the UPass fee.
So is the UPass like it's the Compass card, I guess, for traveling?
Yeah, that's right. It's the Compass card.
Oh, okay. So maybe we might need that. Okay, then. Okay.
Julianne, you may be able to, I believe they evaluate on a case-by-case basis. You would just have to go through a formality of making a case. I think your best bet is to contact an advisor. So we do have advising sessions at even a drop-in session today that runs from 9 to 4 o'clock. And another one tomorrow, same time, 9 to 4 o'clock. So feel free to join that drop-in session.
And then, sorry, one more thing, going back to, you said that there's 1 day at home online because of COVID. So, sorry,
Yeah.
I missed some of that conversation. So does that mean it's 2 days in person and 1 day online? Is that correct? Right, as of right now, I know things change with COVID and whatnot, but.
Yeah, so what happened was we had so much online over COVID that we developed and learned that there are better ways of teaching people other than having them sit in a classroom in a seat listening to a teacher talk for 8 hours. And so we found some really creative ways for our students to learn online. And so yes, at the moment, we have kept that. We find it very valuable. It allows students to have a little bit more flexibility in, their day and in their week. So at the moment, it's there. It's definitely going to be there probably forever. I would think so, but maybe not once a week for the entire 10 months. We're still navigating that. So for someone like yourself, Julianne, who's traveling from the Sunshine Coast, that can be kind of nice.
Yeah, that would be actually one less day for sure. All right, thank you for answering our questions.
Welcome.
How typically how large are the classrooms? How many students typically do you get?
Yeah, so for our aesthetics program, the maximum is 16 students. And for same for nail technology. And for our hair program, there are 20 students. We also have 2 instructional assistants for hair. So if the teacher was teaching something that she needed to kind of really keep a close, or they needed to keep a close eye on, they would arrange with instructional assistants to come into the classroom to help them and help the students. The instructional assistants as well can be available for some one-on-one tutoring if needed.
Okay, great.
And I don't know if it's something that is pointed out somewhere else, but I do always like to highlight that besides our program being one of the best in the country, also attending VCC, there are so many other supports that are available to our students that are not available in private institutions. So for example, with hair and aesthetics, VCC is the only institution that is public on the lower mainland anyways. And so the pros of that is that, we do have counseling services available. We have disability services available. We've got libraries that have all sorts of material for studying in this field. And not to mention, we've got, a bakery and a cafeteria. So it's a nice perk. And we're right in the heart of the city. So, those little extra perks are something I like to highlight as well. A little bit about our teachers as well. So our teachers do have to do 100 hours a year of professional development. So that means that our teachers who also only work, I shouldn't say only, but our teachers who are working 3 days a week, they have ample time to go out. Some of them actually work in salons and spas while also being a full-time teacher, but they go out and they go on professional development and learn all the new trends that are out there. They continue to meet all the newest, connections in the industry, and they bring all of that knowledge back to the students. And you're all welcome to, if you want to email us, if you'd like to come in for a tour, we're happy to arrange that for you as well.
Okay. Let me just follow up with a few other services I'd like to bring to your attention. So we do offer a number of services for students: advising services, financial aid, Indigenous services, disability services, counseling services, and free professional tutoring. If you just go to vcc.ca/services, you'll find all of these links on that webpage. As far as next steps goes, as Louise mentioned, you're free to attend an info session and register for an upcoming one. You can meet an advisor, so you can either attend the drop-in session or set up an appointment with an advisor. Or if you're ready to make the jump now, you can apply or register for a program at vcc.ca/apply. On that note, if you do apply today, we'll waive the application fee of $35. Please note this is for only domestic students, and it is limit 1 per person. So again, if you go to vcc.ca/apply, just enter the promo code info0422. Again, that's info0422, like April 22nd. Okay, well, thanks everyone for joining us today. Again, I encourage you to attend the advising session and do sign up for an info session, and you'll get an amazing tour at the downtown campus because it's an amazing facility. And I know Louise and Melanie are going to give a really thorough tour so you get a sense of what the environment is like. Okay, well, thanks again, everyone, for joining us, and I hope you have a great day.